You don't understand. Easy bake ovens are just as hard as real ovens, okay? If not harder. I've set fire to an easy bake oven once. Okay? It happens. Honestly speaking, I think a regular oven might be easier. Easy bake ovens were a monstrosity. They were so difficult to use. Here's the thing, okay. Everything's powered. Your oven is powered by one light bulb. Can you imagine trying to cook using a light bulb? Okay? A tiny little light bulb? That thing alone is supposed to cook all of your food. On top of that, right? Not only do you have raw ingredients actually being mixed into these metal pans, but your only way of getting the pan out is through a plastic spatula that was too big to fit into the hole to get your food out. Okay? It was unnecessarily large, right? To the point where you have to flip it over with the stick side and just try to poke it out. But you can't because there's a little indenting inside of the Easy Bake Oven. So that's why you need the spatula to lift it up. And so what happens, huh? What happens when you cannot get it out? Huh? What is your default thought? Huh? Get an adult? No. It's you're gonna reach in with your fucking hand. And that's what I did! I reached in with my tiny little fingers and burned my hand! Okay. Here's the thing. When you leave an Easy Bake Oven for too long, right? Because here's the thing, right? I was a kid and I watched Mama Nono bake quite a lot. An average cake, let's say it's at 350 degrees, right? An average cake, let's say a bundt cake, right? Because Mama Nono made bundt cakes all the time. Let's say a bundt cake, right? An average bundt cake needs to be at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, right? 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 45 minutes, right? 30 to 45 minutes. So I, being the reasonable child that I was, thought I'm making a cake, so I should wait 30 to 45 minutes for this thing to bake. Do you know how scalding hot an Easy Bake Oven cheap metal aluminum pan is after 30 to 45 minutes of baking under that stupid light bulb? Extremely! And you know what happens when you leave it on for too long? Do you know what happens? It catches on fire. Easy Bake Ovens used to catch on fire. The plastic melts. The smell of the plastic melting into your cake, dripping from the ceiling of it, melting at the bottom of it. That shit, that stupid Easy Bake Oven was the worst mistake of my life. And it caught on fire. It caught on fire in my extremely flammable home in Anderson, where the floors were made out of, guess what? Carpet! Carpet! So now you have, imagine, right? Imagine 7-year-old Alias staring at her Easy Bake Oven. I went to go get a snack real quick, right? I went to go get a snack. I am playing with this Easy Bake Oven with my baby sisters and my baby cousins, right? And I'm showing off because I had gotten it, you know, as a gift from a very rich auntie. And she was like, here you go, Alias. Take it. And I thought this was the coolest thing ever, right? She was so cool. She was so cool. She was one of those single aunties that just kind of like lives her best life. You know, She was one of those aunties who was just like, she was a wine mom. But instead of wine, she would just drink, you know, whiskey and sit on the couch and just stare at you. And then kind of like, you know. You know. Project. But either way, she was a whiskey type auntie. And she just watched as we played with it. This adult woman watched a 7-year-old and a bunch of children who were like 5 and under stare at a flaming on fire on carpet easy bake oven. And what does she do? What do you think is the best course of action? Huh? Put water on it? Call the police, call a fire people. In a rush of adrenaline, my half awake auntie, right? There's this thing called barley tea. And Mama and I love to make barley tea. It is the same color as whiskey. It is the same shade. And it also has little bubbles at the top that happen sometime. One bottle had whiskey. One bottle had barley tea. Guess what fucking bottle she picked up? Don't get me wrong, I love my auntie. I love her a lot. But what could possibly go wrong, right? If she had just taken just a couple of more seconds to just assess the situation, look at the bottles that are on the table, she would have been able to make the right choice. But no! She decided to get the whiskey and pour it on top of the flaming hot oven. Less than 6 feet away from a bunch of children. So now we have issue number 3, right? The house is on fire. We got 10 children, around 7 to... No, between the ages of 2 to like 12, right? 2 to 12. All now staring at this ever-growing fire. Growing inside of the house. We are just staring at it. And like, we're kids, right? We're kids. So we're like, fire. You know, we have no concept of what's actually happening. So what do you think is the best thing to do, right? In that situation, what would you guys do? Now you have this huge fire. Once it was a very tiny fire. Something that probably could have get put out if you just put like a blanket over it, right? Right? The best thing to do is to evacuate the children, right? That would make sense, right? Evacuate the children. No, my auntie was just like, hey, you guys watch it and make sure it doesn't get any bigger. I'll be right back. She left. She just left. She came back later with 2 tiny ass cups of water. And she proceeds to go like... What does that do for an alcohol-filled fire? Nothing! It does nothing! So now we're just staring at this fire progressively as it gets bigger on the carpet. We are in shock. And eventually Mama Nana comes home. And she's like, hey, what is that smell? Why is there so much dark smoke? Mama Nana comes in. She sees this fire. She takes us all out of the house. She gets the hose from the backyard. And sprays down the entire fire. And that, my bouquets, is why I don't fuck with easy bake ovens. That is my trauma. Now you know.